Have you ever wondered about the maintenance?
Everything within a plant requires to have preventative maintenance. From your air compressed systems, um, whether those be large or small, from different locations within the plant, including your chiller and piping systems, your extrusion grinders, bins, your injection molding machines, uh, your different feed systems, and your different food processing systems, material handling, dryers, loaders, filters, blow molding machines, certainly require preventative maintenance. Cooling systems outside that do your air conditioning. And one of the most important things about preventative maintenance is communication. Communication between management and your maintenance team for scheduling shutdowns as well as for being most proficient. Certainly, air-cooled chillers require preventative maintenance for filters, fans, and electrical elements. And we mentioned before, open-loop towers require preventative maintenance along with abiotic chamber closed loop.
As many of you know, Tri-Mechanical does a lot of work installing material handling systems, primary machinery, auxiliary equipment, including rebuilding of blenders and so forth. And we do a lot of work as well in installing chiller systems, both open loop and closed loop. Like blood in your body, in your veins, the water system in a plant is the heartbeat, is the thing that makes everything go. Without water, without blood, you just don't have the ability to produce and to move forward. So we're going to spend a little bit of time today and give you some quick tips on preventative maintenance. This session will primarily focus on abiotic chamber closed loop. So there's more maintenance involved in an open loop, a traditional old style tower system and chiller system. There's less maintenance, but still critically important in a preventative maintenance of a closed loop tower system. I got my my mask here, and we're going to go inside and we're going to look at both the pump systems. We're going to show some things that could be improved on an older system. Today we're going to look at an older system. We're going to show you some comparisons to a newer system. Some things to think about as we point through here is the valving, some bypass, some pressure gauges, some very simple things that can make the maintenance of your systems much easier.
As we talk about the closed loop abiotic chamber system, similar to an open loop in this case, there's what's called a fill. This system here has a fill that's about 2 years old, and you see it's starting to get a little buildup. Right next to it is the system put in 10 years earlier than that, and that fill is really starting to get buildup of contamination of items that will inhibit the ability for the air to flow through and for the exchange of water evaporation to occur. As you're going through your system, whether that be on a quarterly, monthly, bi-yearly, or yearly basis, you're going to want to make sure and check all valves, all connections. You're going to want to check your control logic. You're going to want to check your thermocouples, make sure all those systems are operating correctly. And then you're going to want to also look at your valve systems on each filter. Meaning, do you have a bypass? Do you have an alarm? Do you have the ability to tell the difference when the PSI is starting to raise within a filter on when to change that filter or that filter element? A lot of systems will be connected to the main control logic and will tell you when that PSI differential has occurred at a level that's a preset point. But if not, you want to have that individual filter element actually on the unit itself. Here you see it in the front. You see a high and a low pressure differential, and then you see the notes off to the side of when that system and when that those elements that you saw a little bit ago, when that media is changed out. Very important part of your system so that you get complete and continuous water flow through plant. And then here you'll see some other components that may come into play, like backflow valves and water conditioning. But as I said before, we are simply going through the process of preventative maintenance on an abiotic chamber, a closed-loop water cooling system, which is slightly different than an open loop system. Some other recommendations when protecting the fill, you'll see screens that we provide or others provide that stop things like cottonwood and bugs from getting into that fill system. But what's most important is that you take a look at your preventative maintenance program, you take it serious, you include this on a regular and continuous basis, because let's face it, production is critically important, but the money that is invested in one's plant, in the operation of that plant, whether it be from bringing in a new 8-inch header on a main water system, those investments are what produce the products that we each supply to the economics of industry. But there's the investments of the capital equipment, including chiller systems, tower systems, compressed air systems, of course, molding machines, blow molding machines, extruders, granulators, and more. Please call us at 630-636-7411 if you got any more questions.